Here we go. It's that time once again where we delve into the advent calendar and see what is behind door number 12. I hope you are ready and raring to go, because for this one we are delving straight in. Now, first of all, before I do that, of course, let's just say once again, thank you so much for everyone that has been tuning in, watching these, commenting, liking with a thumbs up on my Crafter's Companion YouTube channel. Please do, of course, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and then, of course, give me a thumbs up, which many of you are doing, so thank you so much. That being said, do you know what? Let's just dive straight in when it comes to our advent calendar and see what we've got behind door number 12. So let's do that. Let's go in straight in here, opening up what's behind door number 12. We're going to then have a look, have a peek, see what it is. So let's go for it. So that's 3. Oh, there we go. Number 12. Let's take that in. Let's open it up. We have got Frosty the Snowman. We've got Frosty the Snowman, and we've got a gorgeous little snowflake. Now within that one, let's move that to the side, and we can then start crafting and creating. Now you can maybe just see at the side of your screen there, going to be using some Illustrator pens. But what we want to do is, let's bring in, first and foremost, let's bring in some of our white multi-purpose. Now for this one, although we're doing alcohol colouring, we're not doing a lot, so I'm not worried about and bothered about doing our Nina cardstock. I've got my card blank. Now it's 4x6. I want a little bit of a different size. So I'm going to keep it 4 inches. But what I'm then also going to do is just cut it to 5.5. So it's 4x5.5. So it's a little bit of a different oblong shape. And for that, let's go in with our white multi-purpose for our background. So because it's 5.5, I'm going to come down 1/2 inch. I'm going to go 5 inch. And because the card blank's 4 inch, I'm going to come down 3.5. So it's going to give us a 1/4 inch layer all the way round. But I'm going to bring in some blue texture. This is just from one of our 12x12 card pads. And I'm going to give myself a very fine matting layer. Let me just get the straight edge. So I'm going to come just over 3.5 and just over 5. What did I say that layer was? So that layer was 5. So I'm going to come just over the 5 inch mark. So that's going to give me a really fine, semi-fine blue matting layer. I'm just going to trim ever so slightly there. So that's going to be my matting layer for my actual card blank. So I can set that one out the way for now. Move these bits here. Let's do our stamping and then cutting, because I'm going to use oval dies. You know what I'm like, I love the straight edge oval. So you can use our stitched edge oval or any of our other oval ones, but I like the actual stitched, I like the plain edge oval dies. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to just take guess at the moment. So that one, so I'm going to go those two. So the largest one that I'm using is 2 by 3.25. So that's 2 inch by 3.25 inch. And then I'm going to use the next size down when it comes to our oval dies, or whichever oval dies you're using. Going to go, this is where I was talking about the white multi-purpose. We're going to do alcohol colouring, but I'm not doing lots of blends or that, so therefore I'm just going to go in with my white multi-purpose. So I'm going to stamp first, so I can get it where I want. So let's bring in our stamp. So let's bring in our snowman. And we can put our snowman in the middle. Just making sure that smallest oval is going to fit, which it is, no problem. And then we're going to press that on. Now, because it's a brand new stamp that I've not used, you can either give it a clean with your stamp cleaner, or as I like to do, my translucent clear watermark ink pad. Give that a coat. It's going to take any residual material off the stamp, and what it's then going to do is it's just going to give you a nice crisp clean outline. Then Illustrator pens we're using, which is of course alcohol based, so I'm using my alcohol proof ink pad, and I'm going to go with the Flagstone. So instead of that strong black outline, I'm just going to use the Flagstone. I'm going to press that in, release, and then we've got our perfect snowman. So take that excess ink off. I'm going to put that back because I don't need the snowman anymore. Move that out of the way, and then what we can do is we can do some colouring. No, we won't. We'll do our die cutting with that smallest oval before we do the colouring. So I'm going to line that up as best as I can. I'm going to take that layer underneath here, save any waste. I'm going to cut that largest oval within the middle just there. I'm just going to tack it down, stop it moving. Junior plates, because these are a straightforward outline, I'm going to do frosted, take out the magnetic, and then we can then run that through, like so. What we're then doing while that's cutting, I will be using Oasis Water Reactive and Oasis Quick Dry. I'm also going to bring in the glitter pot from our previous door. I'm going to bring in our Christmas sentiment stamp from yesterday's door. And I've got a snowflake charm left over from earlier on this month, which I think was about door number 4. So we're going to use that. And I'm also going to be using the snowflake die from door number 2 of last year. So we've got all of them, and of course we will be using the snowflake from this year's calendar. So if I take these ones out the way, I can take these ones out the way, so I don't need any of that. So that we've now got our aperture, saved a little bit of card, no one's going to know. And that is then going to sit nicely over the top just there. While we're here as well, should have done that to start with, but let's just go in with our snowflake. And we're going to cut one snowflake. That one I'm going to add my magnetic shim in, because it's a little bit detailed. So we're going to do a full plate configuration. I'm not going to go to the Gemini because we'll just bring this straight back in and do some colouring. I'm going to take a bit of cardstock. Now we're not going to get really any bleed through because I'm not going, you know, heavy-handed when it comes to the lay down of colour, but I'm still going to put a bit of card anyway. Let's take our snowflake out. So we've got our snowflake good to go. So let's do our colouring. Let's move our snowflake out the way, and we're going to go in. Let's go in with Poppy from our Illustrator pen, and for that one we're going to go in with the hat. So I'm not doing the little circular details. All that I'm doing is the actual hat itself, and I'm also going to do the scarf as well. So if I come round the scarf, ignoring the little circle details, just going to go in, no blend, we're just doing the one tone colour from all of these. Let's lay that down. It's really quite simple to colour in. Even if you're doing a blend, it's still quite simple to colour in. However, just laying down that one colour on certain areas of the snowman, it makes it really straightforward, but it's really effective once we're finished. So that was the Poppy that we've used. We're then going to go in with, let's go in with the Spice. So we're going to go in with Spice. And for each of these, I am just using my little, the fine, actually do I want, it's a little bit, let's, okay. That's a little bit too light. Let's go in with golden yellow. I know I've already started to colour these, but let's go in with a golden yellow. No. Let's go in with, let's try on the little marks, Craig. That's what, yeah, there we go. Going to go in with gold. It's a little bit lighter. Colouring in the scar for the snowman. There and there. Then we're going to go in with spice this time. And spice we're going to go in with the nose because that's given us that orange. Oh, I've frozen once again. Let's bear with just for a second. Hopefully we're going to be okay in a moment. So I'm not doing anything. Hopefully you can hear me. If it has frozen for you guys at home as well, then don't worry, I'm not doing anything. Hopefully you can still hear me. But what we'll do is we'll just hang fire for a second. Let's see if I can go in that way. Let's see if that's going to work. Just for a second or two. I'm going to keep an eye on my other screen there. Just to see. Right, I think we're okay. No, maybe not. Right, I think we're okay. Let's carry on. I'm going to zoom out that a little bit more. So, spice I went in with the nose that we can see there. We're going to go, let's actually go back to the yellow. Not yellow, gold, sorry. And I'm going to go in with the cheeks there. I'm then going to go in with the natural brown. And that can go in with the arms. And that can go in with the arms. I'm going to go in with the true black. And that can go in with the coal. For the buttons. You can see there. I'm then going to go in with the pearl blue. Now the pearl blue, I'm kind of doing the opposite as to do what I do with the ice grey. So with the pearl blue, I'm just going on that inside. So it's just making the white a little bit rounder. So it's just giving it that little bit of shape. I'm going to come underneath there. So it just stops the white of the snowman being quite stale in one level. And that's all that I'm going to do there. And then I'm going to go in with the... I took out rose blush. I should have done rose blush for the cheeks, but anyway, doesn't matter, it's done now. I'm then going to go in with the ice grey too. And this time I am going to go round my stamped image like I usually do. Now for the actual rim of his hat and the bauble, you can do that with a little bit of the blue as well to create shape. However, this is where our glitter from the previous day is going to come in. So we're just going to draw around. And then just so he's not kind of just flat, I'm just going to go like so. Just so he's actually grounded, he's actually sitting on something that we can see there. Then let's take our tacky glue. So we're going to go in our tacky glue. You can use your gel pen or your glue pen if you want. But essentially all that I'm doing is I'm going to colour. I'm going to colour within that top bit there. I'm going to do the same when it comes to that rim of his hat. If you've got our puffy snow or anything like that, that would work. Going to go in with our glitter. Take a little bit of scrap. Take the glitter, take it off, and then sprinkle that on. Take that off, and then we've got our sparkly hat when it comes to the snowman. I'm going to put that away. I'm not going to put the glitter away because we're going to use it again just in a moment or two. So let's set that to the side for now. I'm going to, I know that's still wet, so I'm just going to be careful here. And on the back, I'm going to work my way around with the tacky glue. If it was dried, I would have used my double-sided tape, only because it's my preference. Let's pop that on into there. Press that in. I'm just going to make sure that I don't press where I've got, of course, all that glitter. And then there we go. There's our topper that we've got here. Now that can sit out the way. Let's come in here with our background card. So that's at 3.5 by 5 inches. Let's go in with our Oasis. I'm going to go in with my blending tool. And we're just going to go around the edges. So let's blend all the way around. This is just our white smooth stamping card. Or multi-purpose card. Well, I think it's just called white card now. It's the same quality. It's exactly the same card. It's just a different name again. So we're going to blend that Oasis water reactive on. Don't worry about being overly neat. You don't need to be because, of course, we're wanting that rustic snow ice feel. And I'm not worried about the centre because we're not going to see the centre. So let's etch all the way around. And that's all that I'm doing when it comes to that one. I'm not doing any faux bleaching for this. We're just going to keep it as it is. We're then going to come in with that stamp that you've got behind door number 12. I'm going to come in with my acrylic block once again. And then I'm not going to use my stamping mat because I'm not overly concerned if it's not going to be a perfect impression. All that I'm wanting is a little bit of randomness. So if I do miss any bits or anything like that, I'm not bothered. Just going to go around the edge like so. And that's our quick dry water reactive that I'm using now. Just going to do a little bit at the edge, a little bit at the edge, let's do a little bit down here, and that's it. That's all that I'm doing for that one. So that was Oasis quick dry. Take that excess off, move that back, and then that is going to go onto there. So let's take our Christmas stamp. So this was from door number 11 yesterday. I'm going to get that relatively straight, and I'm going to go in with my Noir Black waterproof ink pad, and just as a little bit of a guide, I'm going to keep that there, and then I'm just going to do Christmas. It's just adding a little bit extra interest. So stamp and stamp. On this one, I'm going to come this way, into there, into there, and then I'm going to come down here, there, and then there, and then there's our sentiment. You can use, of course, that happy die that you get with it. I'm not going to. Keeping it as it is, with having that additional interest. Then what I'm going to do is, let's take that one again, just while we let that finish drying there. Going to go back in with my tacky glue, and around that edge of the white layer I'm going to sketch. Now don't worry about it not being neat. Don't worry whatsoever. In actual fact, the more unneatness, the better. So I'm just going to kind of essentially colour around the edge. If you get thinner bits, thicker bits, it's absolutely fine. All the way around there. We're going to bring in our card. We're going to bring in our glitter. And then we've got our sparkly, glittery layer. You can see there. Set that to the side for now. We're going to do exactly the same here with this one. I'm just going to use my tape for this one. No other reason than it's usually my go-to. It's just while I've had my glue to hand, that's why I've been using the glue. We're going to take that off. We're going to layer that onto our blue layer. And we're going to do exactly the same there. We're going to go round the edge with the glitter. So let's pop that on and press. Let's take our glue and our little fine nozzle applicator. And we're going to go round the edge. Also, not being too concerned about being neat or precise. Work our way round. And that's it. Bring our paper in, bring our glitter in. Add that around. Work it around. Finishing off. Like so. And then there is our glittery icy layer all the way around. Let's decant that back in. Move it out of the way. And then this time what I am going to do is I'm going to use my glue, simply because I don't want to put that flat onto my glass mat. Otherwise I will kind of spread out that glittery glue layer that I've just done. So let's add that on. Let's bring this in. We're going to pop that on into there. Of course the glue will dry clear. Let's just press that in. Need to do our insert. Let's bring in another bit of the blue. Let's bring in our white multi-purpose. So that's 4 by, what did I say? 4 by 5.5. So let's do 3.5 by 5. And then we can do 5.25 by 3.25. This one also, I'll just put my glues there at the side. Let's use the glue. Pop that into there. Press that in. Hold that down. That can go into the middle. Sketch all the way around. Take that little end bit out. Like so. I think I've maybe just got enough and no more. Place that into the middle. Here's our inside. Let's bring in our snowman. I'm going to come in with some foam pads. Let's pop these ones on. So these foam pads are quite thick. These are 4mm. What I'm also going to do, just in case that's still just a little bit wet with the water reactive, I'm just going to add a few dots of glue that will then dry into the foam pads and into our cardstock. Press that in. I'm going to go in with our snowflake that we've cut. I'm going to cut that in half. Bring in our glue. I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue around that outer edge there. That we're going to tuck under and press. Don't worry about overlapping and overlayering with the sentiment. We're kind of wanting that layered look, that layered feel. Of course, you could go one step further. You could come in with stencils of that, come in with glitter paste, so you can really start to level it up with mixed media products. Going to do the same within that one there. So we're going to tuck that up in that top corner and then press. And then let's come along. The last thing, let's take my silicone glue here, just a tiny little bit. I'm going to pop there. I'm going to come in with my little snowflake charm that I've got left over from, I think it was the 4th day. Let's just make sure I've got no air. And then there we go. From door number 12, our snowman and our snowflake stamp, where we've stamped out the snowman, coloured in with a selection of our Illustrator pens, used our oval nesting dies from Chloe, die cut the layers out, and then gone round the outer edge with some glitter. That back layer we blended with a little bit of water reactive Oasis, then stamped the snowflake from today's door in with the quick dry Oasis. Used the Christmas stamp from yesterday, which was door number 12, I want to say. Was it yesterday? Yes, from yesterday, which was door number 11. And then we used the Charum, Snowflake Charum from door 4. And then the actual snowflake was the die from last year's advent calendar, and it was door number 2. And we've got our 4 by 5.5, a little bit of a different oblong rectangle shape that we've got there. And then of course we used the glitter as well from earlier on this month. And there we go, lovely little layered card that we've got there. So just bring that in for you guys to see. There we go. You can see the layers just there. Perfect. There we go. So I really hope you enjoyed that one, bringing in a few different layers and techniques when it comes to that card there, but still keeping it in that smaller, simplistic form and fashion by bringing in a number of different items that we've used from previously in this month. And of course that snowflake from last year. All that's to be said is, hope you enjoyed that one. Looking forward to tomorrow, door number 13, unlucky for some. I wonder what's going to be behind door number 13. I wonder what we're going to make with the item and product behind door number 13. There's only one way to find out. That's, of course, coming back here to my Craig Laird Crafter's Companion YouTube channel tomorrow, where we're going to do it all over again, opening door 13, and see what we can make. Right, have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you again very, very soon. In actual fact, we'll see you tomorrow in 24 hours' time for our Crafter's Companion Advent Calendar. We'll see you then. Bye.